YouTube, what's going on? It's Kyle again from ePoolSupply. Back again today with a quick fix video for you guys on Hayward's PoolVac V-Flex. This version is actually meant for vinyl pools, but this will actually work for the concrete versions as well. Stay tuned. We're going to dive in and show you guys how to fix this thing. Alright guys, and we're back. So again today I've got Hayward's PoolVac V-Flex. As you guys can tell, it looks a lot different from the intro. So I've actually stripped it down here to basically just your top middle housing here that has your gearbox assembly as well as your filter screen still here attached onto the back. So I will kind of do a 2-for-1 video for you guys on showing you guys the importance as well as how to remove the filter screen as well as the gearbox underneath and kind of show you guys what that looks like inside and give you guys some more description on it. So first thing we'll tackle is obviously the filter screen that's located on the back of the cleaner. So for those of you guys that don't know, here's a top cover. You guys will notice that this filter screen will actually have another, it'll have this wire mesh right here and it sits inside this top cover. Essentially the entire point of this is just to make sure that nothing and no debris can actually get inside the cleaner and actually affect the turbine or the gear assembly. So it is important that when you guys have this on that it doesn't have punctures in it, because any of those bigger pieces of debris or an extra rush of water from just being in the pool could definitely cause issues with the functionality of this gearbox, which is going to be the driving force of your cleaner. So really quick, again, I've already had this stripped down. You don't necessarily have to take it down as far as I did in order to be able to get access to this filter screen. But if you want to know how to get where we're at, again, make sure you check out the links in the description. We'll have that playlist available for you guys on how to do it. The last 3 videos before will show you guys basically a lot of the functionality of this. So then that way you guys understand how to get to this point and take this apart. So the filter screen is pretty easy. It just literally slides down outside of the frame. It'll actually have pre-done little notches in the actual top housing here that this will slide down into. It is directional. It'll have a notch on one end, so you'll know that that will fit in the notch on the actual top housing. So when you are putting it back, you won't be able to put it back incorrectly as it won't fit. So, lost a gear. As you can tell, that gear is just free sitting up there. It doesn't actually hold on. Again, in our previous videos, I talked to you guys about this top spindle gear that will actually help keep that gear down as well as the handle. So in this case, since I have everything removed, everything kind of free floats. But there's your filter screen. Just want to show you guys how to remove that. Again, to reinstall it the same way that you guys take it out. And then we'll talk about the actual gearbox assembly that's located underneath here. So you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, and you're going to focus on these 2 Phillips head screws and go ahead and remove those, and I'll show you guys what it looks like inside. So bear with me. Very important when you're doing any of these fixes that you guys just make sure that you guys take note of what screws belong where, as they are not universal. They do not all look the same, and each screw has its own purpose. So when you guys start actually taking this thing apart, make sure that you guys have things set off a certain way so that when you're putting it back together, everything gets put into the right position. So you don't want to put the wrong screw in any of these, as there's not actually prefab screw holes. It's just posts, and if you start screwing in the wrong screw or too long of a screw and you're going to crack a piece of it, then you're going to cause an issue. So go ahead and lift up the casing here. So there's the casing for the gear, and then obviously here's one of your main spindles inside. So again, we'll have all of these available on the website. So check out the links in the description. We'll take you guys directly there so that you guys can actually take a look. But essentially this little gearbox is going to be a big driving force of the cleaner. So it is important that you guys make sure that you check on this and that this hasn't sheared or broken. So what I always suggest is about every other season, especially for those of you guys out here in Arizona with the heat and the constant usage of your cleaner, is about every 2 years you want to take them out and actually get down and to the nitty gritty here and open it up and actually try to make sure that a lot of these parts are functioning in order to make sure that when you put it back in the next season or the next week in our case, that everything is working properly and that you don't cause yourself more issues down the line and more expensive fix. So if you guys stay up on the maintenance on these things, which again, we've got a full part breakdown for you guys so you guys can take apart little pieces at a time and be able to actually fix them when they need to be fixed. That way you guys don't have to worry about trying to buy a whole new complete cleaner by the time it's done. So really important when you guys are putting this back, it's very important that this goes back in a certain way. There is a little white gear that's sitting in here, but this gear is actually pre-attached with this top spindle as well. So there is a little screw in here that you can actually remove, which will take this smaller gear out as well as this top gear. So if either one of these is broken, you will need to obviously take that screw out to be able to get access to both of these. But this is attached, so you don't have to worry about that falling out. And then as well as this other little axle that sits on top, that's actually glued in there really well, so you're not going to be able to pull this out. So again, if for whatever reason something like this is sheared or broken, we do have this top housing available in that description, in the links for you guys directly on the website. So just kind of want to give you guys an overview, because that way you guys understand the functionality. So as your main top would spin, it's going to spin this gear, which spins this gear, which then will spin the white gear underneath, which drives that main engine to allow the cleaner to start moving different directions and function differently rather than just one agitating system. So I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Please feel free to reach out if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns about any of them. We'll have all of our contact information again down in the links in the description. So appreciate you watching. Be sure to subscribe. And until then, Kyle from ePoolSupply.